How you doing, everyone? And welcome to this episode of the Isaac Hayes Show, talking about life, talking about liberty, and talking about the pursuit of happiness, and showing everyone in the world that Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope you're having a good day, a good week, wherever you are located. Just remember that this is the day the Lord has made. We should rejoice and be glad in it. Ladies and gentlemen, I had to bring out the cup because Whoopi, or as I call her, Goofy, is going off the hinge with this Biden pardon, and we're going to talk more about that later on. That is what's been all over the news, and you know, look, I've been hearing this. Okay, people are telling me, Isaac, are you really surprised? Are you really surprised that Biden did this? Yes and no. Okay, and the reason I say yes and no is because, you know, he said it so many times, and you wouldn't think he wanted to ruin his reputation. So yeah, that's maybe why I'm surprised a little bit, but at the same time, no, I'm not. This is typical Biden stuff, okay? Biden is so corrupt. I'm just going to get that right out the gate. Biden is so corrupt that it would not pass me that he did this. And I'm going to explain later on. I know I talked about it last episode, but like I said, it's been in the news, and I'm going to talk about the fallout of it. But Biden did not do this for his son. Okay, Biden did not do this for his son. Biden did this for himself. I have an article from Breitbart that talks about this, of all the stuff they've done from 2014 till now. And it's funny, that specific date of January 1st of 2014, why did Biden pick that date? Because there was so much more involved. It was just not about his son being pardoned. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. All right, before we go on, welcome everybody into the chat. I know that Dr. Mike finishes before me. He tries to finish right on time. If he's a little late, well, you're going to be coming in later on. I'll tell you again, welcome. But if you come, and I know, look, I know this is all pre-recorded. Everybody in my chat knows this, that this is pre-recorded, but I still try to be engaged with the chat if possible. And I know Wendy Wiles here. I know definitely not Karen might be here. I know a lot of people. I can't remember everybody right off the jump, but thank you guys for being in the chat. And if this is your first time listening to the Isaac Hayes Show, your friendly neighborhood Cajun conservative, go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and follow the show and tell a friend. Word of mouth goes a long way. I am not like the Daily Wire. I'm not like the Blaze TV. I can't spend millions and millions of dollars advertising this show. I just don't have it. But guess what? God is faithful. God is good. And one day we will get to that point. And as always, want to give a shout out to Two Mics Live, the Dr. Mike Swartz Show, Jeff Ahern, Amber May, and you know, the Kelby and Joe show. Got to give them a shout out. They did a real good job on their last show talking about this, and them guys cracked me up. I love Kelby and I love Joe. They're some good guys. But you know, hey, let's help out our other fellow content creators. And look, we need to go through. So go ahead, hit the like. We also have Handy News that's going to be after us. Thanks to Wendy Wild, our moderator, that goes ahead and watch the chat and engage with people if I can't engage right then and there. But and also we go ahead and raid Handy News on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Helped out Handy News like that. All right, let's get back to this. Okay, because this has been in the news, and I've been chopping at the bits. And look, I'm not gonna lie to you. Monday, when I first got the news, it was raw. I didn't really have that much time, but I'm starting to listen. I was listening to commentators and everything like this. And look, first off, okay, I'm going to say again from the jump, Biden did not do anything wrong by pardoning Hunter. But legally, he did not do anything wrong by pardoning Hunter. Was it the correct thing to do at the time? No, it was not. Okay, it was pure favoritism. It was pure, I'm trying to say the right word. I'm trying to find my cell phone. I fell cell phone somewhere. But it wasn't legal. Okay, it wasn't illegal to do. He had every legal right to go ahead and pardon Hunter. I'm not against that point. Constitutionally, he is right. Now, should there be you know, conditions of pardoning? Like, okay, if he done a crime, pardon him for the crimes. Don't pardon him for the crimes he may have committed. Because even, look, and this example has been going on for a little while. They've been saying this example all over the TV. If Hunter Biden wanted to go do a major crime on December 1st, he could have done it. And December 2nd, scot-free. No trial, no nothing. And this is why I think this is more on the lines of Biden trying to save his own skin. We have the Burisma incident. We have the gun incident. We have the tax invasion. We have him taking money from China. Look, if I go to China right now and I meet with foreign diplomats and I get a check because I met with them foreign diplomats, do you honestly think the FBI would not be at my door? If I decided today I am not paying my taxes, since I've got into the workforce, I have been paying taxes. I have every year gone to my my neighborhood IRA, and I have filed my taxes so I could make sure that I'm doing my duty as a United States citizen. Even if I don't agree with the income tax system, I go there and I make sure that I'm not going to jail. But if this year, the upcoming year of 2025, I say I'm not going to pay my taxes, and I don't pay them, I will have the IRS knocking at my door. Or look, I'm going to even give you a perfect example. I know someone that paid their taxes, and the IRS sent a letter saying, hey, you owe us a certain amount of money. Why? Why do we owe you money? Well, because you didn't pay certain taxes. Now, the paperwork was mixed up, but the IRS didn't care. Now, the IRS could have went and looked back, and thank goodness the person I know has records saying they paid this and they're trying to situate it with the IRS, but the paperwork was messed up. The IRS took the money, and now they're still saying they owe them money. Did they do that with Hunter? No. Just do whatever Hunter did. You're not getting a pardon. You're not gonna get a call from Uncle Joe and say, hey, I'm gonna pardon you because I think the government was after you. You're not gonna get that. And again, this has been dominating the news because of the response of people, because I'm not the only one thinking it. Look, it's not conservatives not just thinking this. It is also prominent Democrats. People with influence like Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith told Biden, you're full of it. You're full. Now, Stephen A. Smith, well, Donald Trump, and we're going to get to the blame game because everybody's blaming Donald Trump for this too. Everybody's blaming Donald Trump for this. Not the conservatives, but everybody that's trying to defend the decision by Biden is blaming Donald Trump. But going back to Stephen A. Smith, Stephen A. Smith said, you're full of it because you told us you weren't going to do it, and you're doing it. You lied to the people. Again, I don't know why these Democrats are so surprised that Biden lied. Sonny Holston tried to say, well, you're talking about him lying. What about Donald Trump lying? Donald Trump lied, according to CNN, 400 sometimes in one rally. What about Biden's lie? See, that's the thing. I think about that too when I watch stuff like that. You never, ever hear The View, CNN, Joe and Mika. You never hear none of these buffoons on TV of the left-wing media say that Joe Biden lied about something. This is an outright lie, but Whoopi and Sonny and Ana Navarro are saying, no, he didn't lie. The situation changed. No, he lied. We knew that Biden was convicted in June. He said, I'm going to stand by the jury's decision. I'm not pardoning my son. Now, all of a sudden, the DOJ is corrupt. The DOJ is targeting Biden. And now, oh, no, I can't stand this. Where was Joe Biden talking like this when Donald Trump was facing 70,000 felony charges? Where was Biden saying this when the raid in Mar-a-Lago happened? You know why he didn't say that? Because it helped him politically, and he probably put the order out. Isaac, there's no proof of that. No, there's no proof of that. I'm just saying, though, somebody had to give the order. And you telling me that a sitting president didn't know that the FBI was about to raid a former president's house? Again, there's no proof that Biden knew about it. I'm just saying, it's my suspicion. And look, you can tell me I'm putting on my tinfoil hat. I'm just saying. But now the Justice Department is all corrupt. This is what he said in his. It was politically motivated. Really? And your DOJ not going after Donald Trump was not politically motivated. If you're in the chat, give me your comments of what you think about this. And welcome into the chat, guys. Please smash the like button and hit the share button. Helps me out more than you know. Continue on this point. Karine Jean-Pierre said that Biden was truthful about the pardoning of Hunter. The White House press secretary said on Monday that President Joe Biden was being truthful with American people when it came to the topic of pardoning his son, convicted felon Hunter Biden. Jean-Pierre made the remarks during a press gaggle, not a press conference, but a press gathering in which the video cameras are not present after she was asked about a highly controversial pardon that covered every crime Hunter Biden was convicted or may have convicted over an 11-year span. Again, okay, if you want to pardon him for the crimes he committed, do so. Not the crimes he may have committed. That's very key right there. One of the things that the president always believes is to be truthful to the American people. She claimed, despised Biden, repeatedly stating on the record that he would not pardon his son. This is something that he has always truly believed. Jean-Pierre pointed to where Biden said in the statement that he has always followed the principle, just tell the American people the truth. Here is the truth. I believe in the justice system, but as I have wrestled with this, I also believe in raw politics has influenced this process, and it led to a miscarriage of justice. And once I made this decision this weekend, there was no sense in delaying it further. Biden said, I hope Americans understand why a father and a president would come to this conclusion. She claimed that Biden just arrived at this decision this weekend, despite contrary reports. This broke also on Monday after the show aired. NBC News reported that Biden has secretly discussed pardoning his son ever since he was convicted of a federal gun charge in June, and that the plan to publicly say he would not pardon his son, even though doing so remained on the table. Biden lied. So for Karine Jean-Pierre to come out and say, oh, the president was truthful about this. The president was he was so honest with the American people. Is a bunch of crap. The man outright lied to the American people. His press secretary outright lied to the American people. This is why Democrats are upset. Prominent Democrats are upset. Joe Manchin, an independent who was a Democrat, is upset and says, look, I would have understood if he would have asked Trump to pardon Hunter. Listen, I pardon you, Trump. You pardon Hunter. End of the deal. That's done. Joe Manchin made that suggestion, but did Biden take it? No. Because Biden's just not short of free fries of a Happy Meal. He's missing the whole carton of fries. Biden lied. This is something that he did. He just outright lied. And for Karine Jean-Pierre to come out and say, well, he didn't lie. He just came to the decision. No, he was talking back in June, according to NBC. And why did he come to a sudden decision like this? Well, the legacy media, The View, and several others. I mentioned Sunny Hostin earlier, but Whoopi and Annie Navarro and Sunny Hostin and the legacy media has said that the reason he came to this decision is because of Donald Trump. You see, Donald Trump was gonna go after him, and the Kash Patel, the nominee for Attorney General, said he was gonna go after Biden, and this is why a father couldn't see his son. Okay. Because this is another point I do want to make on this. I understand that Hunter Biden is Joe Biden's son. Understand that. If you could help your children, you help your children. I have 3 of my own. But when a child does a crime that has been proven, just not by the courts, because I said last Monday, this stuff was allegedly done by Hunter. No, he was convicted. A jury heard it. And look, you can say the same thing about Trump if you want to, and the left-leaning people. I'll give you that argument. But it's kind of funny. All those cases were trumped up, no pun intended, and all of them got thrown out. But on another note, let's keep on going with this. He has been, but it's just not the jury that found him guilty. Hunter Biden, in his memoir, wrote that he did this stuff. We also had a special prosecutor in Ukraine looking into this stuff, and Biden told the Ukrainian president at that time, you get rid of that special prosecutor or you're not going to get money. Oh, quid pro quo? I thought Donald Trump only did that. No, Biden did that. Biden used his influence as a president to hold aid to a country, and in Biden's word, well, that SOB was fired. Okay? So I understand he's his son and all that stuff, but the thing of it is, if your son has admitted to the crime, you should let him do the time. But again, he can't do that because what has Biden been doing? They've been in corruption for the last several years. I know I'm taking long on this, but this is a lot of stuff that I thought about after Monday's show, and I hope you don't mind me explaining this a little bit. But again, the hosts on The View, 2 days, not 1, 2 days have talked about this. The legacy media has blamed Trump. Why? Because, again, Biden saw this and, I can't let him take our son. I can't. Anyway, give me the pen. And it's all Trump's fault because, see, Trump was going to prosecute a man that was already prosecuted, by the way. And that Donald Trump's DOJ was going to look into. And now that they can't really look into this because of this part. Now, the downside of this part, and I don't think Biden thought about it, anyway, give me the pen. He signed the part, and Hunter Biden don't have no rights to the Fifth Amendment no more because he's pardoned. So if the DOJ will look into this, they could still go after Jim Biden and possibly Joe Biden. Now, this is the thing, too. I heard, this is speculation, that he's probably going to pardon his brother, too. If that happens, well, guess what? I heard a bizarre theory. I know I'm chasing a rabbit here, but I heard a bizarre theory that he's probably going to step down from president. Now, this has not been confirmed. Like I said, this is a theory from somebody on legacy media. If that happens, that's going to throw a wrench into this whole transfer of power business. And but it's all Trump's fault. This is all Trump's fault because Trump is going to go after criminals. And I hate, look, I'm going to show you the cup again. Whoopee. I got a picture of Whoopi right there. Whoopee. Oh, we got to convict this felon for a president of the United States. Now, look, I titled one of my episodes this. I fact checked it to make sure because I didn't want to get tagged by social media and other video content platforms. It's been dismissed. All the charges are dropped. Does that mean that Trump is convicted? He was convicted by his peers. Okay, I'll give you that argument, but it was dismissed. He wasn't pardoned. That's a big thing. That's a big difference right there. Now, I've been teasing at this that why Biden really did this. Well, it was to save his own rear end. Daily Caller, not Breitbart. Daily Caller, excuse me, wrote an article that says, here's what Biden's family has been up to since 2014. And Hunter Biden latest charge included tax fraud, felon gun charge. He pleaded guilty in September to 3 felonies, 6 when they were trying to give him the sweetheart deal. He was facing up to 17 years in prison. This whole article right here talks about everything. But in 2014, he joined Burisma, a Ukrainian national gas company. In 2024, he from 2014 to 2015 tax year, the bank records show that Hunter did not pay. He made $80,000 a month for his position at Burisma. Russia oligarch Yelene Britt wired $3.5 million to Rosmore Senate in 2014. They gave it to Biden. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that happened from 2014 to 2024. And if Hunter Biden would ever get in, have a truly investigated, be investigated, it would implement Biden as well, because Biden is the big guy. This is according to the laptop and all this stuff. This is what Biden wanted to cover his rear end. That's what this is for. And if he pardons Jim Biden, that's what it is too. It's to cover his rear end. I think everybody knows this already, especially in the chat. If you listen to Two Mics Live, they've been Two Mics Live, Mike, Dr. Mike, and all the other shows. They've been talking about this. They've been talking about this, that that he, he did this stuff. And it was no surprise that Biden, but it all falls back to Biden. All falls back to Joe Biden. We're going to have to see next coming months. Let's hope that, because this is another thing too. I want to bring out this point. The reaction from David Weiss, the special counsel that was looking into all this, saying that Biden's charges shouldn't be dismissed. The judge in the tax fraud case in California wrote a 5-page ruling on this, where if I'm not mistaken, she didn't dismiss it, but she came close to dismissing it. But at the same time, she's leaving it open. And I'll just now this is where I'm gonna come to the point too. Okay, let's talk about pardons a little bit. I'm just thinking about this because a lot of people's like, well, can they just keep it open? No, a presidential pardon is a presidential pardon. All crimes are wiped away. And this is why I said, look, according to Politico, this is the most wide blanket pardon ever. Richard Nixon had a somewhat better deal than Hunter Biden, a former president that was responsible for Russiagate. Watergate. It had a better pardon than Hunter Biden, and it's not close. It's not far. It's not that much difference. So should pardons be changed? I think they should. Not a whole blanket. Okay, I think a president should still be able to pardon, but pardon a person that has committed a crime and it's been proven that they've been false, like it's been a crime that they've been framed for or something like. I'm not against the presidential pardon. I'm not, because look, we have to go. Donald Trump, I think, gave 230 some of them in his first term. He's probably going to give a lot more now because this pardon right here of crimes that known crimes were done, impossible crimes were done. Donald Trump on day one should go ahead and pardon all the January 6ers, or a majority of them at least. The ones that were walking around. Dr. Mike and Mike Calderese had a guest. I can't remember the guy's name right now, but it was about a 15-minute interview. And the guy was he served 75 days in jail for walking around the Capitol, knocking joints out of people's hands and trying to keep the Capitol clean. He saved a person's life by giving CPR. Instead of him saying, look, thank you for trying to keep the Capitol clean. Thank you. He had 75 days in jail and his life is ruined now. Donald Trump should give a pardon to that man. And look, there were some people that did crimes on January 6th. I'm not going to deny that fact. But there were the majority of people that were in the Capitol were not there to destroy it or to mess it up. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm just being honest with you. Biden can do this. Biden can go ahead and pardon. Donald Trump can pardon all January 6ers. For crimes that they're accused of, or crimes they've been somewhat, people say convicted. Hey, you're pardoned. And look, I don't want to hear no one in the left. I can't believe Donald Trump did that. Well, look, I met tons of January 6ers. I went to the MAGA Fest and I had that interview. I never aired it. I need to air it. No, maybe it was on the live stream. I'm not sure, but. There's a whole team of people that are trying to protect January 6ers from being falsely, helping with legal battles. If Joe Biden can pardon Hunter Biden for crimes he has done and allegedly has done, Trump can go ahead and pardon all these January 6ers. He should. He should. Let's see. I wrote some notes down. I talked about that already, about the Department of Justice. It's funny how the Department of Justice now all of a sudden is corrupt. We talked about that, and I think I did that already. All right, let's move on. Obama bros trashed Biden for making the defenders look stupid with Hunter Biden pardon. Typical lying politicians that come from the Obama boys or somebody that hangs out with Obama all the time, and they say, hey, Biden made his defenders look stupid. And look, that's the thing too. Karine Jean-Pierre, she looks stupid. Well, I'm not gonna go there. I know Wendy Wild's gonna go there, and I know a lot of other people are gonna go there. But anyway, we have a lot of news. I had a lot of news for the because there's more news going around than people think about. Okay. Trump promised hell to pay in the Middle East. If hostages are not released before he takes office. This was made, I think, on Monday. Donald Trump promised that he would be all hell to pay if hostages being held captive by Hamas are not released prior to when he takes office in on January 20th. In a true social post, Trump said nothing will be being done to free those being held by the Iran-backed terrorist group since October 7, 2023, after Hamas attacked Israel and killed at least 1,200 people and kidnapped at least 250. Everyone is talking about the hostages who are being held so violently and inhumanely and against the wall of the entire world in the Middle East, but it's all talk, no action, Trump wrote. Please let this true serve to represent that if the hostages are not released prior to January 20th, 2025, the date that I probably assume office as president of the United States, there will be all hell to pay in the Middle East. And for those in charge who perpetrated these articles against humanity, Trump added. On Saturday, Hamas released a video of an Israel-American hostage pleading for his release. The footage shows Eden Alexander, 20, covering his face and crying. He was abducted by Hamas terrorists on October 7 of 2023. Alexander explained that he had been a prisoner for over 420 days and delivered forced messages to Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Trump. Netanyahu spoke with Alexander's family and is determined to take every action to bring them back home, his office said Monday. Also, I think there was also one of the hostages that unfortunately has passed away. And that came out, with that. But ladies and gentlemen, Trump cannot be president fast enough, in my humble opinion. You have a 20-year-old man that is just not Israeli. He's an American. He's an Israeli American. So America has a fight in this as well. A lot of people don't realize there was some Americans that were held hostage as well, that were staying in Israel. Now, Israel is a holy site for a lot of Christians. So a lot of Christians, Americans, go out there and see these holy sites. Now, Benjamin Netanyahu responded to this, and then I'm going to give you my opinion. Israel's Netanyahu reacted after Trump warns of hell to pay if Hamas doesn't free hostages. This is from Fox News. And Benjamin Netanyahu says President-elect Trump is in the right place when it comes to his warning of there being hell to pay if Hamas doesn't release their remaining hostages. President Trump put the emphasis in the right place on Hamas, not only on Israeli government as it is customary, Netanyahu said Tuesday at the beginning of his cabinet meeting, according to Reuters. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm going to make that statement. Trump cannot come fast enough. We need to make that trend go on X. We need to make that trend go on Facebook, and hey, put it in the chat. Trump cannot come fast enough. Look, if you have a Locals account, do that. Put it on Locals. The reason I'm saying this is because I'm tired of weak leadership. Trump was correct in his post. Since October 7th, October 7th of 2023, we've had our president and our leaders of this country say, oh, we're gonna get these hostages. Oh, we're gonna broker a deal. Oh, we're gonna do this. Oh, we're gonna do that. And guess what? They have not done a doggone thing. I'm getting Southern right here. A doggone thing. Now, Wendy's from Houston, so I was... anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. But no, I'm doing. They haven't done a doggone thing. They haven't done nothing. All they have done. Israel has the right to defend themselves. When Israel goes ahead and defends themselves, that's inhumane. They shouldn't be doing that. They should just stay home. They should just work. Hey, accept this peace deal. Yeah, but we give everybody terrorists and we don't get nothing. Well, that's the deal. That's the way the game is played. Yeah, Biden that as openly said, I think it was Biden that said, I can understand why they're upset. You can understand why they're upset. What about the Israelis? What about the people that had their family butchered? Joe Biden was weak. That's why Hamas Hezbollah, and several other terrorist groups. That's why Taiwan is under threat right now. That's why South Korea is having issues right now, because of America's weak leadership. And it is refreshing to hear a president or a president-elect say, you know what? Them hostages better be released before I get out of office. If not, y'all going to be in trouble. Uh-oh. And look, to my knowledge, Hamas has not responded to this. But it kind of reminds me of another president. I was not alive then, because I was born a little after. Unfortunately, I was born through the Clinton presidency. Go figure. But Ronald Reagan. Remember when Ronald Reagan was taking over for Jimmy Carter, and Jimmy Carter was in the I think it was the missile crisis, and they had some hostages that were being held by Iran, whatever way you want to say it. I want to say that was in 1980, because Reagan got in 1980 and 1984. Then Bush took over in 88, and then Bill Clinton in 92. So I'm trying to remember my dates. I'm trying to be accurate for the fact checkers out there. But didn't Ronald Reagan say the same thing? Hey, you better have those hostages released when I get into office. Well, by God, now Jimmy Carter took the credit for it. Don't get me wrong. We got these hostages free. But Jimmy Carter didn't do nothing. They waited until a couple of days before the inauguration. And I think this was going to happen here. Hamas is probably going to release the remaining hostages, because Donald Trump told him, if y'all don't, you're gonna pay for it. Now, I'm gonna bring this out to the audience here. If you don't learn from your history, you're doomed to repeat it. I forgot who said that, but it's a popular phrase. I remember a lot of stuff, but I don't remember all that. But anyway, I think it was one of our founding fathers that said it. And look, if you know, put it in the chat. I'll be listening and watching. But if you fail to remember your history, you're doomed to repeat it. Jimmy Carter lost several embassies to foreign nations. Jimmy Carter had an issue with hostages. Jimmy Carter had a high inflation. Jimmy Carter had all this stuff. Now, when Ronald Reagan came on the scene, he fixed everything. Now, this is a little different. History has not totally repeated itself, because we had Ronald Reagan for 8 years. Then we had George H.W. Bush for another 4 years. And unfortunately, he lost it. But they had 16 years of Republican policies that has lasted to now. Basically to now. Of the prosperity of the 80s and the early 90s of a Republican... I can't think of the word right now. I know probably people in the chat. Administration. Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. Administration. But yeah, so you had almost 12 years. You had 12 years of a Republican administration. Then you had 2 years of rampant left-leaning policies, and then Newt Gingrich came in, and they had the deal with America and all that. Bill Clinton being the politician he was, whatever. But anyway, we don't have that full history, because we're only gonna have Donald Trump now for 4 years, because he was previously elected as president of the United States from 2016 to 2020. So history isn't going to be fully repeating itself. But it's funny how you see the similarities between Jimmy Carter and President Joe Biden. Both of these people were Democrats. They both had high inflation. They both had problems with foreign affairs. Let's just hope that Donald Trump does what Ronald Reagan did and change our country. And he has to do it drastically. But look, does Donald Trump putting out this post should put fear in every terrorist's heart? Because now we're going to have a president that has been proven already when he was 45 that he's going to stand by Israel. And he's going to help Israel. This war should have been done already. But because of the weak leadership of Joe Biden and his administration, it is not. This administration, the current administration, has wounded Israel and has handicapped Israel. With all this ceasefire talk, with all this stuff that's going on. Instead of backing Israel and telling Israel, go get the thugs and the murderers, Oh, no. We gotta. And look, Donald Trump ain't worried about gas prices. See, that's a whole other thing too. The Biden administration, they want to go green all over except in the Middle East, where we get most of our oil. See, Trump ain't worried about that because Trump's drill baby drill. Remember when he said to Sean Hannity the first day, I'm gonna restore oil and I'm gonna close the border. That pin's gonna be flying on January 2nd, January 20th, when Donald Trump takes office. It's time for strong leadership, and we need it. Not weak leadership like I've been explaining, but once again, let me go with this point too. Like weak leadership we have now that we have about roughly over 40 days left of having. Ukraine is a touchy subject. I think Ukraine has the right to defend themselves. I think we should help Ukraine. But we have overhelped Ukraine. And it's continuing. The Biden administration announced on Monday that it would be sending another $725 million to Ukraine. As it ramps up military aid to the country before President-elect Donald Trump takes office, the State Department said that it will be giving Ukraine a variety of military equipment, including Stinger missiles, ammunition for high mobile artillery rocket system, artillery ammunition, drones, tube launch, optically guided wire track missiles, and small arms and ammunition and other military supplies. Look, if Ukraine's paying for that, no problem. Give us the money. Hey, the country needs to make money too. But this is all because, as part of the surge in security assistance that President Biden announced on September 26th, the United States is providing another significant package of urgency needed weapons as equipment to our Ukrainian partners as they defend against Russia's ongoing attacks. The State Department said the United States and more than 50 nations stand united to assure Ukraine has the capability it needs to defend itself against Russia's aggressiveness. Where's the other 49 nations? Well, 50 nations. It's like the 51st nation is only flipping up the bill. The aid comes, I'm reading it, and I'm frustrated with this because the aid comes as Biden enters into the final month of his presidency, and just after he made a major policy change to authorize Ukraine to launch long-range American-supplied missiles into Russia. Donald Trump Jr. accused the Biden administration of trying to start a war before his father's inauguration in January. It does not surprise me. Remember, I told you earlier, Biden is corrupt. Biden is one of the most corrupted presidents ever. Possibly Andrew Jackson will top Joe Biden. Possibly. Because Andrew Jackson had a lot of things in the fire that hurt our nation and benefit himself. But ladies and gentlemen, sending more money before an incoming president. Now, Anthony Blinken has said we're trying to do everything we can to protect Ukraine before President Trump gets in there. Because Donald Trump has promised to stop the aid in Ukraine. Now, look, it's not that Donald Trump's against Ukraine fighting their battles. I think he's tired of the wasteful spending that we're doing. 725 million, almost another $1 billion is going to Ukraine and is being rammed. Where is Congress? That's a question I need to ask. Where is Congress? Where's Congress saying no? Doesn't Congress control the purse? Don't Congress go ahead and make money decisions? Now, if this was already part of a package, hey, but it sounds like they're going around Congress and they're sending Ukraine millions and millions of dollars. Why is this happening? Does Biden really care about Ukraine, or is there something Ukraine's not telling people and they're using this as a bribe and he's compromised? Or does Biden have interest in Ukraine and he's trying to protect that interest? It would not surprise me, ladies and gentlemen. And my tinfoil hat is coming on. But it would not surprise me. After the election, Biden says he's moving to Ukraine. And we see pictures of Biden and Hunter Biden and probably Jim Biden with their pardon so they can come back to the United States and live a luxurious life. But it wouldn't surprise me that the Bidens will go to Ukraine, have a huge mansion, all kind of yachts, and we hear that Biden's running for the president of Ukraine. Look, either he's bought or he's being bribed. I'm sorry. There's no other way, or no other way I can think of this is because, look, you don't send people this much money unless you're being bribed or you're investing in this country. And unfortunately, it's not coming out of Biden's pocket. It's coming out of you, the American taxpayers. Again, I'm not against helping another nation. I just encourage President Trump to continue helping Israel. But I'm sick and tired of our taxpayer dollars going to a foreign nation, fighting a war that's endless because it's only surviving on the taxpayer dollar. We are at war with another country and none of our soldiers are on the ground. They think about this? We probably spend, I'm just assuming, but we probably spend about the budget of the Pentagon on Ukraine over the last several years. Every time we turn around, we're sending money to Ukraine, but we're about to go into a congressional session where they're going to talk about, hey, we might have to shut down the government right before Trump gets in. I still say that was planned. Don Jr. said it the best way. I think they're trying to start World War III before my father gets into office. All these strategized moves. I know they're trying to make Donald Trump look like he's a fool and he don't know how to be president, but he has already been president. Cash Prezell, I think his name is, the guy that's nominated for Attorney General, said, look, we're going to clean house. They're going after Pete Hegseth for I said this on Mike's show yesterday. They're finding all this dirt on Pete Hegseth, but we still don't know what the manifesto said for the Nashville shooter. Ain't that odd? All these reporters can go ahead and find information on this, but they can't find information on manifesto. Why aren't these investigative reporters go look up Biden and his dealings with Ukraine and plaster that? No, because it's going to make him look bad. They need to make Donald Trump look bad. I'm tired of my taxpayer dollars going to Ukraine. For what? For Zelensky to have a yacht? We're not tracking this money. We don't know where this money's going to. So in Zelensky's pocket. But again, Biden is only strong when it benefits him. I heard that yesterday on the radio. Biden don't look like he even cares about being president no more. This is why the theory that came out there that he might resign or whatever. And then he's going to give it to Harris, who has a bottle in one hand and a pen in the other. We don't know what she's going to do if she's president for the next 30 days. 725 million, almost another $1 billion going to Ukraine. Can you believe that? Weak leadership. Stories that caught our attention this week as well. President Joe Biden suggests that Canada should be the 51st country. This happened while Justin Trudeau was at Mar-a-Lago. And they were, this was happening last Friday, and it was released this week. The Prime Minister of Canada told Donald Trump, listen, if you put these tariffs on us, Canada will not survive. The economy of Canada will not survive. So now Justin Trudeau has before I continue, Justin Trudeau making that comment helps us. Why do I say that? Because Donald Trump wants the border of Mexico and Canada closed. Now, I didn't realize that it's a woman that's a president of Mexico. I don't look at other countries too much. But yeah, there's a woman, and look, she told Justin Trudeau, well, you don't have the culture as Mexico has. No, but Canada's a lot richer than Mexico. So think about this. If Canada is going to collapse under these 25% tariffs, what Mexico's going to do? Again, this is why tariffs work. America can afford to put a tariff on Canada, Mexico, Russia, China. These other countries can't afford that. And this is what brings them to the table. And I think this was Van Camp. I can't remember the whole radio. It's three guys on the radio that I listen to, and they're nationally syndicated. Think about this. when Donald Trump said, we're going to go ahead and put a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico, Mexican president hasn't done it yet. She hasn't gone and talked to Donald Trump. She might not think she has to. But Justin Trudeau said, Trump, got on the phone. Hey, Trump, can we talk? Trump said, yeah, whatever. Come on. Hung up. Justin Trudeau jumped on a plane to Mar-a-Lago. Like that. Look. I think it must have. This snap didn't work. This snap did. But he had to, he jumped on a plane to go meet with Donald Trump. What kind of influence does Donald Trump have? Donald Trump's, I heard Dr. Mike say this, and I've been thinking the same way. Donald Trump ain't even president yet. And look, he's getting leaders to fly out of their country to come here. But, and this is why, Justin Trump, we can't survive. So Donald Trump basically said, I'm trying to, if they had the quote, Donald Trump basically said, you know, Trump, sources say Trump became more adamant when it came to the U.S. trade deficit with Canada, which he estimated is more than $100 billion. The president-elect told the prime minister if Canada can't fix the border issue and the trade deficit, he will levy the 25% on all Canada goods on day one when he returns to office. Trudeau told Trump he cannot levy the tariffs because it would kill the Canadian economy completely. Trump replied, asking so your country can't survive unless it's ripping off the U.S. and to the tune of $100 billion. Trump then suggested to Trudeau that Canada become the 51st state, which caused the prime minister and others to laugh nervously, sources told Fox News. Now, the media, but he continued, let me finish the quote, but he continued telling Trudeau that prime minister, it is a better title, though he could still be the governor of the 51st state. Now, multiple news outlets is, I can't believe Donald Trump trying to take over Canada. He's not trying to take over Canada. I think he made this as a joke. But Trump is right. I'm going to be honest with you. Trump is right on two fronts. One, if you can't do that, we're going to kill our economy. So like Trump saying, so you ripping us off $100 billion, we have to flip the bill. We have to go ahead. And look, I don't know if Donald Trump's going to do 25%. I think him and Justin Trudeau makes a deal and they close the border. Justin Trudeau has the power to do that. He's the prime minister. And Giuseppe from Two Mics Live, the breaking news guy, he told Two Mics Live the other day, hey, you know, let them take the east side, not the west side. The east side is more conservative. And, you know, when it was brought to that attention, hey, you know, they told Trump, hey, Canada's more liberal. You would lose 2 Senate seats and you know what Trump said? Oh, we'll split it down the middle and we'll make 2 states. Donald Trump has an answer for everything. I'm just saying. But the media was like, I can't believe Donald Trump did that. He's trying to take over our country. No, Donald Trump ain't taking over. He was messing around. But Donald Trump has to do something. When he becomes the president of the United States, when he becomes the 47th president of the United States, he has to protect our nation. That is the role of the federal government. And Canada is letting things come across the border. Not as bad in Mexico. We will give them that, but they are allowing certain things to come across that border. And it needs to stop. It needs to stop. It needs to stop now. And look, this is why tariffs work. Like I said, America can afford it. Look, golly, we just sent $725 million to Ukraine. We have the money, apparently. We don't, but I'm just saying. Let it work for us. Again, this made big news because of all the issues with Donald Trump and everything like that. Delaware confiscates $100 billion of Musk's wealth. This broke the other day. So according to Delaware and a judge out there who I believe is an activist, this is from Newsmax. This judge is confiscating Elon Musk's wealth that he created at Tesla, denying him a compensation package that would be worth over $100 billion in value today. Musk had paid a heavy price for counter-woke policies, making X a neutral platform and backing Donald Trump for president. Delaware Consular Judge Kathleen McCormick on Monday ruled to confirm her January ruling that fined Musk was not ineligible for a 2018 compensation package that valued at $56 billion at the time. Could you imagine you getting compensated for something for like $56 billion and now worth $100 billion? I would love to see that check. who I would spread the wealth to. Everybody in the chat would get a good million. I would sponsor Two Mics Live. I would sponsor Scott Ford. I'll sponsor all these guys. But one check, 100 billion. I'll be set for life. I'll be done. But Elon Musk makes some kind of checks. But this package, I was hearing a little bit about it. When he took over Tesla, he said he wasn't going to get paid, which is accurate. He did say he wasn't going to get paid unless it made a certain amount of value. And it passed over that within the time of the conversation. So Tesla was supposed to give him a check. This judge saying, well, that was way too much. You can't get that. It's funny how a federal judge can do that, though. Now, me personally, this happened in January. So this would be, I don't think Elon Musk endorsed Donald Trump yet. But it's kind of funny it comes out now. Now, McCormick has initially ruled that Musk had not gotten proper approval from Tesla's shareholders. Excuse me. Musk did file suit, and this is going to go into appeal. I would appeal it. I'm about to get $100 billion check, and the judge says you can't have it, and we're going to confiscate that. It's going to go to the federal government. No. They might want to send it to Ukraine. Maybe that's why this judge did it. Maybe Biden called and said, hey, we can't have Elon Musk having this money. We need to send it to Ukraine because we're broke and we need to send as much money as possible. So take that check and forward it to Zelensky so he can go ahead into the war efforts. I'm just saying. In June, Tesla holders again approved the original $56 billion compensation overwhelmingly, with 77% of the stock owners backing Musk in the package. So this is why I don't understand either. The shareholders approved this. And this judge is just saying, nope, what I'm going to do. And look, this is government overreach at its finest. When a judge can say, I'm going to go ahead and take $100 billion away from you. I'm not reading that wrong, ladies and gentlemen. $100 billion. This is according to Newsmax. Was confiscated by a judge. This is government overreach. When a man that lives in this country, I believe is a citizen of this country, cannot get his paycheck. Now, this is highlighted because it's Elon Musk and $100 billion, but you know how many Americans are fighting with the same thing? When you get your paycheck, you look at the federal government and they take your cash. Now, look, the federal income tax system wasn't there until 1913. And if I'm not mistaken, it was like 1-2%. Now it's well over, I hate to see the percentage. I know it's well over 25%. The federal government and even state governments are taking our money, our hard-earned work. We should not, look, Donald Trump is right. We should not pay taxes on tips. We should not pay taxes on overtime. We shouldn't even pay taxes on our personal checks, our personal our income. Now, will the 13th Amendment be not 13th Amendment, the tax code, I can't remember what, it's either 13th or 14th, one of them. Will that be abolished? Probably not. But we need to do something. And look, Donald Trump is talking to the tune of a lot of Americans, and yours included. Man, I got a couple of more stories. Let's see. Eric Adams has been criticized by the left because he said he would love to discuss with Trump's border czar, and he told his critics to cancel him. So this is from Daily Caller. Democratic New York City Mayor Eric Adams said Tuesday that he is prepared to sit down with the incoming border czar Tom Homan to discuss deporting illegal immigrants who have committed crimes. Adams, who has been grappling with the soaring migrant crisis in New York City, thanks to Republicans that have sent them there. I'm not gonna lie to you, because New York was not worried about it until they said, all right, we're gonna share the wealth, we're gonna share the pain. So they sent migrants to New York and other places. Said he is prepared to work alongside President-elect Donald Trump's incoming administration to tackle the rising crime rates committed by illegal immigrants. He brushed off any concerns regarding a political left outrage at his willingness to deport dangerous individuals residing in his city. Those who are here committing crimes, robberies, shootings at police officers, raping innocent people, have been a harm to our country. I want to sit down and hear the plan on how we're going to address them, Adams said. These are the people I am talking about. I would love to sit down with the border czar and hear his thoughts on how we're going to address these who harm our citizens. You know what's interesting, and I was talking to the team the other day, I want you to go back to Google go back and Google Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Google what they said about those who committed crimes in our cities and what they said in our country. They said those who commit crimes need to get out right away. That's was their position. So that is not a new position because in an era of cancel culture, no one's afraid to be honest about the truth. Well, cancel me because I'm going to protect the American people of this city. And if you come into this country and this city and think you're going to harm innocent New Yorkers and innocent migrants, asylum seekers, this is not the mayor you want to be in the city under the mayor continued. So we have some Democrats that are willing to listen, at least taking out. Look, that's the major issue too. Let's take out the criminals first. We can go ahead and see, if you came here illegally but you're living a life, we can go ahead and talk about certain things. But if you're a criminal, like Laken Riley's incident, this woman was going for a jog and this butcher assaulted her and unalived her. These are the people that needs to get shipped back. Hey, and look, countries are sending their worst. They're not sending their finest. Now, this is the thing about Eric Adams. I just thinking about it. Eric Adams has been more bold since Donald Trump has got into office. I think Eric Adams was scared of the left and how Biden would treat him if he was Now, Eric Adams has his own legal battles. I've touched on that already with scandals and stuff. But Eric Adams was a cop too. And he does have that side where he's thinking like that. He's thinking like a cop. But for him to say, look, I want to sit down and hear their plan, at least he's doing better than some idiots that are on the left. Oh, we're not even gonna let them into our state if they're gonna deport people. Oh, even the criminals? And like he said, look, this isn't a foreign concept for Democrats. Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton endorsed taking out criminals. Obama was one of the presidents that deported more illegal immigrants than anyone else. But see, because Donald Trump is pushing that, they can't push that issue no more. And I commend Eric Adams. If a Democrat does something right, I'm going to commend them on this. They're doing a good job. There was some issues in South Korea. I'm trying to get to I got two news stories, and we're going to go ahead and hear handy news. So stay tuned for that raid in a few minutes. So South Korea parliaments defy president votes to lift martial law. The South Korean president went ahead and had some issues with opposition, and he thought it was better to go ahead and put his country under martial law because he wanted to protect the Republic of South Korea. And the parliament said, you can't do that. Now, he did it late at night. This is okay. I know South Korea is one of our allies, but they're not a republic like we are. Okay. He put this martial law in because they had people, he believes that North Korea is influencing and all that stuff. I can understand his concern, but if you're a true republic, you let the people decide. Now, look, I know North Korea is trying to get back South Korea. They were split and all this stuff. There's a long history with that. But for this man to call martial law in the dead of night, this raised protest, and the parliament did right. Now, I don't know the whole situation. Like I said, I don't deal with other countries too much unless it's involving the United States. But this is one of our allies, and the National Assembly and all the parliament said, no, you're not putting martial law. It was going to make him like the supreme ruler. That does not sound like a republic, in my opinion. Now, I don't know what his thoughts were. He might be a good guy. He might have been trying to protect the nation. Now, the New York Times noted that the conservative president won his election by campaigning on being tougher towards North Korea and calling for strengthening the country's ally with the United States. So they're trying to say, hey, a conservative trying to take power. That's the New York Times for you. They're trying to use a bad situation and trying to put us down. But he declared martial law to end a lot of things that are going on in the government, but their parliament said no, we're not going to do it. So we're gonna keep watching this. Yun said, the president said that the political opposition inside the country has polarized the government's ability to operate by intentionally 22 impeachment proceedings against government officials over the last 6 months. In addition to, so there's a lot going on in South Korea. Now, we let's hope, because South Korea is free, North Korea is not. So we're gonna have to let's keep South Korea in prayer and let's hope they fix what issue. I got one more story and then we're gonna wrap up and go to handy news. I know I'm going a little long this morning. I have a little bit more time than usual, and if you notice, I'm a little more. I'm not. Oh, I gotta finish at a certain time. So, but again, stay for handy news with the raid. Before we read this last story, go check out Two Mics Live. Go check out the Scott Forrest show. Scott Forrest is going to be recording hopefully pretty soon. I've got with him a couple of days. Well, a while back now, and he said he's planning on making more shows. So be prepared. Go check out his old shows. Scott is a good friend of mine. The Kelby and Joe show, good friends. Great guys. They like I said, they crack me up. I try to listen to every show they put out. Dr. Mike's show, Jeff Ahern, Amber May. Gonna be getting with Amber May pretty soon to talk over possibly being on her show. We have a lot. Look, we're building a coalition here. I said this earlier. We're building a coalition. We're building a team here, and we're trying to help each other out. So let's help each other out. And you can help out too in all this. Hit the like button, hit the follow button, hit the share button. If you're on Facebook, hit the like button, all that good stuff. Just hit buttons. Buttons that help us. Now don't keep on fingering the like button because it's gonna be like hit it, make it light up. Yeah, so let's go to the last story, and I think this is critical. Democrat challenger Adam Gray flips California's final House race called. This was a flip for Democrats. This was controlled by Republicans for the longest time in the 13th congressional district. This race I have questions about because the Republican was winning, then all of a sudden it took so long to count the votes. We are December 4th. The election was November 5th. So almost a month later, this race is finally called by Fox News. I think it's been called by other races, other networks already, but the Republicans are going to maintain a majority of seats with 220. Now, after everything going on with special elections, because there's congressional seats that are going to be coming in, the Republicans are going to have 219 seats going into Congress, or 1-seat majority. Mike Johnson has already been, they already confirmed that Mike Johnson will be the House Speaker again. So Mike Johnson is a ally of Donald Trump. John Thorne, whatever his name is, on the Senate side is planning to work with Donald Trump. They're going to try to get his picks confirmed. 219 votes, I'm not comfortable with. You have a 1-seat majority or 2-seat majority. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not coming. Look, don't get me wrong. We control the House and we control the Senate. Thank goodness. And we're about to get things through if we don't have rhinos that flip over. See, that's the problem. If there's a Republican that has that works with the Democrats, just one messes up the whole thing. I like a 5, 6, 20 seat, 30 seat, whatever majority to where we don't have to worry about this. Now, the Senate, we also got 53 seats. I think 52, 53 seats. That is a slim majority. Slim majority. Democrats only have to convince 4 Republicans. And look, it would not surprise me. Look at the bill that was going to end Obamacare. It was so much of a slim majority, and we had John McCain give the famous thumbs down. That ended it. And look, Donald Trump can go ahead and try to end it again. Now, he did some things that ended the mandates and stuff. But this, Dr. Mike and myself, we say this all the time. Listen here, we need to work now. Look, getting Donald Trump was elected, but this is the hard part now. This is the hard part of getting Donald Trump in there and getting his policies passed. Now, again, I have questions on this race. I'm going to leave them to myself, my questions, but it's California. Don't you know how to count? Almost a month into the election. Now, this is probably going to go into a recount if it hasn't already went to a recount. Maybe that's why the long process. I don't know. But we still will maintain the House according to Fox News, but by a very, very slim majority. So, guys, with that being said, that's going to wrap up this episode of the Isaac Hayes Show. As always, thank you for listening and watching the show. Please hit the subscribe button or the follow button if this was your first time listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and welcome to the Cajun Conservative family. That's how I used to say it, and I'm going to do that, become a Cajun Conservative. I'm still the Cajun Conservative. I just retitled the name of the show, but hey, welcome to the Cajun Conservative family. Glad to have you again. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button. Thank you to everybody that was in the chat. We'll be going to handy news in a few minutes. We're going to raid the show as we always do on our show times, but look, guys, I love you. I want to say thank you as always for liking the show and being part of the show. My heart is overwhelmed by everybody that listens, and the show has been getting popular, getting more views, and that's all because of you guys. That's all because of you. And look, I want to thank Wendy and Mike and all those guys that raid the show and help me out. You're a blessing, and I can't thank you enough. A reminder, go get Dr. Mike's new book, Vaccine Fiction. I have not picked up my copy yet, so Mike's probably going to get on me, but I'm planning on going to get it. I do have Fauci Fiction. A friend got it. I need to get it back, but go check out the Dr. Michael Schwartz's books, Vaccine Fiction and Fauci's Fiction. It's a good read. You will enjoy it. So until next time, you be blessed. You encouraged. Remember, Jesus Christ is King. He's coming back, and he's coming back soon. So don't be faint of heart. Jesus has overcome the world. If you want to know Jesus, your Lord and Savior, you can always reach out to me, and I'll tell you how to make Jesus your Savior and heaven your home. Until next time, you be blessed. You be encouraged. You have a good one.